watching KSL News at 6.
Since the beginning of the pandemic, Utah has lost 1,025 lives to COVID-19. There are currently 568 people hospitalized, and as of today, about 26% of COVID tests are positive. Now, good evening. Good to have you along. While we are making significant strides here with the pending FDA approval of a vaccine, there has never been a more important time to remain vigilant in our efforts to mitigate the virus.
Tonight, we're taking a look at how our families can still find happiness and health as we approach the holiday season during challenging times. Welcome to Your Life, Your Health, this special Healthy Holidays.
Although it is a sacrifice, infectious disease expert Dr. Todd Vento is asking families to only gather with their immediate household for the holidays this year.
The numbers are really overwhelming and we can't sustain it. Therefore, our guidance is that really this is the year not to gather. And, I don't want to soften the blow. It just is what it is.
Vento believes these efforts will make a big difference. He says our hospitals only have 10 to 15% availability right now.
This is the time to not pour gasoline on the fire by actually gathering more and then risking transmission and even worse, more hospitalizations and possible deaths.
He says people are most contagious when they first start developing symptoms, which typically happens between 5 to 7 days after exposure. As hospitalizations surge, Intermountain Healthcare has found some creative ways to care for patients without placing unnecessary burdens on the healthcare system.
One Utah woman is grateful she was able to be monitored from the comfort of her own home when she got COVID-19.
71-year-old Valerie Jackson lives alone. In early September, she came down with COVID-19.
I had, I think, almost every symptom that I've heard of,
including pneumonia and difficulty breathing. Jackson's family convinced her to go to the emergency room. Though she didn't meet hospital admission criteria, doctors wanted to continue monitoring
so we
her.
just push the button and we turn this on.
They sent her home with a pulse oximeter, allowing Jackson to measure her own oxygen levels several times a day at home.
And it connects to their cell phone or iPad.
Intermountain Healthcare's Dr. Joseph Bledsoe calls it the COVID Remote Patient Monitoring Program.
If you're sitting at home with COVID and don't know that your oxygen levels are critically low like that, it can be dangerous.
Patients' vitals are reported back to the hospital through an app.
And we have monitoring techs there who are monitoring for vital signs 24/7, 365.
Having that monitor felt like a little friend. Just knowing that somebody was there noticing my numbers was comforting, reassuring, and I think it helped my family a ton.
At Jackson's worst,
I didn't eat, I didn't drink, I didn't do anything except sleep.
One day, her oxygen levels kept falling.
I got another call that said, you need to go to the ER.
She was admitted for a few days and eventually went home with oxygen. Bledsoe says this program is key to the hospital's surge capacity plan.
And really help to reserve those hospital beds for those that are most sick.
Today, Jackson is on the mend.
It's 99. Woohoo!
Thankful to hopefully have many more years with her children and grandchildren.
I am very grateful for the help that I received, the support from my family, the hospital.
The program is available through all 22 Intermountain Healthcare Agency departments, and they will soon be available at the local Instacares. If your insurance doesn't cover the program, Intermountain will cover the cost.
As we head into the winter months, we will likely see more cases of the flu in addition to COVID-19. Since both diseases are viral respiratory illnesses, it can be kind of tricky distinguishing between the two of them. Symptoms for both infections include fever, cough, shortness of breath, chills, fatigue, a sore throat, and a runny nose. Dr. Gordon Harkness, a family practitioner with Intermountain Healthcare, says it's difficult to clinically tell the difference between the two illnesses without testing. But he says there are some differences.
When people come in and see me with the flu, they often can tell me exactly when they got sick. I mean, it comes on very suddenly, whereas COVID-19 may come on a little more gradually.
Now, with the flu, most people see symptoms after exposure between 1 to 4 days, and with COVID, it's usually about 5 days, though it can be as little as 2 and as many as 14.
An FDA advisory panel voted in favor of the Pfizer's vaccine, which means 154,600 doses could be shipped to Utah within 24 hours of when we get the final approval. Front-facing healthcare workers will be vaccinated early next week.
Yeah, one Utah teacher and mom shares how she's approached her decision about getting the vaccine when the time comes.
Yeah, I got the flu shot. I get it every year. I teach. I don't want the flu. It's awful. I don't want this either.
Jana White is a teacher at Corner Canyon High School. Her husband is an eye doctor, and together they have 3 kids. They interact with a lot of people every day.
All these classes have 25 to 40 kids in a class. The number of patients that go through my husband's office, you see a lot of people.
Jana says when it's her turn, she will get the COVID-19 vaccine.
We had just looked at it from the facts, straightforward.
As a psychology teacher, research and statistics matter. She says the vaccine trial size and efficacy has made her feel more comfortable. The Pfizer vaccine was tested in 44,000 people. Half got a placebo. About 10 days after the first dose, there is a sharp divide between the number of people in the vaccine group and the placebo group who test positive for COVID. Now, that red line right there is the placebo group. The blue line is people who got the vaccine. That makes it about 95% effective and works across all ages, weights, and races. That second dose is still important, though.
You get a high level of antibody that that they believe is protective. And
Dr. Tamara Sheffield is a medical director of community health and prevention at Intermountain Healthcare and says research from the SARS outbreak back in the 2000s helped pave the way for where we are now.
I have a lot of confidence in the process that has happened with this vaccine. Even though it appears to be very fast, there's some great reasons for that.
Sheffield says she trusts the FDA's process when it comes to making a decision because it's exactly the same as other approvals.
Because they're using that same process with those same third-party advisors, we have a lot of comfort that whatever decision they make is going to be as good as they've done in the past.
Some people who got the vaccine experienced an immune response.
Get a fever, they can get achy, they may even feel like going to bed for a day.
But Sheffield says that's normal, and for those in the trial, it resolved after 24 hours.
Experts say about 70 to 80% of people will need to get vaccinated for us to finally reach herd immunity, and even encourage people who have already had the virus to also get vaccinated.
The cold winter weather, coupled with the ongoing pandemic, has made it extra challenging for many people to get out and exercise the way they normally do. For Your Life, Your Health, Allie Davis met up with a few Utah women who found a way to move despite these setbacks.
It's cold, but it's beautiful. And you're not too cold once you're moving.
For Amber Smith and her girlfriends,
So we hike probably almost every weekend.
staying active is critical to their physical and emotional well-being, especially during the pandemic.
I think I would have just been in bed depressed if I was quarantining this whole time.
Even though it's getting cold, she says there's a couple things that help her get out of bed in the winter.
Layers, right? Just having the right clothes on so that you're not cold the whole time.
And good company.
I think makes the biggest difference to have a group of friends that keep you accountable and keep you going and keep you motivated.
Intermountain Healthcare's Dr. Jake Viegel says we need exercise now more than ever.
The pandemic is stressful. This is a time of rapid change. There's turbulence. Everybody has got anxiety on their minds. Exercise helps us to release that.
Without it,
you just kind of sit in your house and feel bad for yourself. But if you can get out and do some things, it's going to make you feel better.
The blue sky, the mountains, the snow, the clouds, it's just so good for your brain.
And for your body.
It helps with cardiovascular health. It helps reduce cancer risk.
He says the key to success is staying flexible, especially if you work from home.
I think we can allow ourselves a little bit more flexibility to go and get that exercise done and during the middle of the afternoon when it's warmer and the sun is out.
Experts encourage people to get as much fresh air as they can this winter. But if it's just too cold or icy to exercise outside, make sure you have a backup plan indoors.
For Dawn Barden, that's indoor cycling. While she loves the outdoors, Dawn openly admits,
I'm a serious cold weather wimp. I see folks out there riding on a Wasatch in the snow, and hats off to you, but I can't do that.
But time on her indoor trainer gets the job done.
At this point, I am not comfortable going back to a gym. It's too many people in too close a space for my comfort level.
She and her husband use a virtual platform called Zwift to ride with other cyclists in real time.
I literally have people from all over the world waiting for me to lead the ride, so I have to get out of bed. I don't really have a choice.
She says her indoor workouts are still effective.
your heart rate's going, you're breathing heavy.
And helps her stay safe, especially since she has asthma.
So it enables you to stay obviously very socially distant, but you still get to communicate, talk to other humans.
Vigilant encourages people to get at least 30 minutes of exercise 3 days a week.
But really, for somebody who's having a hard time getting out, the best exercise for them is whatever they love to do.
Use it or lose it. I want to be as healthy and enjoy as much as the state has to offer for as long as possible.
For your life, your health. Allie Davis, KSL 5 News.
Thanks, Allie. You can also check out Intermountain Healthcare's on-demand workout resources and virtual Live Well classes right here, like yoga, cardio, and strength training, which you can stream from the comfort of your own home. Head to livewellcenter.org/healthy-at-home.
All right, still ahead, how to safely adapt some of your favorite holiday traditions during the pandemic. But first,
I like my me time, but this was a little too much me time.
how to prevent serious side effects of social isolation this winter. We're going to talk to an expert coming up next.
By wearing masks and social distancing, we may have avoided COVID-19, but chances are we haven't been able to dodge one of its serious side effects.
Yeah, we're talking about social isolation. No one is immune, but there are some things that you can do about it. Here's photojournalist Peter Rosen.
I can spend a lot of time on my own.
At home, alone. Not the easiest place to spend a pandemic.
I mean,
Not for Jessica Blank.
I like my me time, but this was a little too much me time.
Because of a medical condition, she's staying at home until everyone's vaccinated.
And that could be a long time.
This BYU professor would tell you that isolation itself can be bad for your health.
Increases our risk for heart attack, stroke, type 2 diabetes.
And it's detrimental to your mental health, says Intermountain Healthcare psychologist Denise Lash.
Social isolation heightens anxiety and depression.
So Lash prescribes first, admitting isolation is difficult.
Acknowledging that this was really hard.
Then scheduling days with activities that bring joy and meaning.
Shoveling the sidewalk for a neighbor, it could be dropping a plant off on a friend's porch.
Exercise.
The human body is built to move.
And perhaps time to keep a gratitude journal.
Noticing the positive.
Jessica Blank's antidote for isolation.
I joined the Columbia House.
Is that where they just
Good conversation.
Trivia group, virtual game night.
She joins and hosts virtual meetups.
Introverts who aren't total hermits.
Tonight, it's show and tell with Allison, who's single.
Some days are better than others, I guess.
Matthew, single with roommates.
I just miss the in-person interaction. I miss being able to hug my friends.
And Michael, who has a full house but just enjoys the company.
It's a box
They show
that I got at a thrift store.
a recycled box,
So inside,
60-year-old cologne,
This is a decanter from the 60s.
and a conspiracy theory on vinyl.
It's an Illuminati conspiracy record.
Then the conversation meanders
Communal type setting.
from 70 sitcoms
We used to watch Love Boat and Happy Days.
to life's milestones.
when I turned 30, it was a huge turning point in my life.
You have to make an effort to reach out.
Yes, you do.
I love it. I feel like Zoom has saved me from really being miserable.
Kind of gives us a sense that we matter to others.
Isolation, for some, Lash says, can lead to serious questions.
Kind of an existential angst, right? Of what, do I matter in the world? Where's my place in the world?
For Jessica Blank
Well, we all survive in the ways that we need to survive.
and her online friends,
Without you guys, I would not be surviving here. This is so great.
there's nothing like a good conversation to make them feel
Take care, all.
See you, Matt.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
a little more connected.
Ellie, thanks.
All right, see ya.
For Your Life, Your Health, I'm Peter Rosen.
My kids have been missing their grandparents and their aunts and uncles so much.
Coming up, how to find meaningful ways to connect and celebrate favorite holiday traditions with family. It's time to deck the halls. Even if this year is going to look a little different, it's still possible to maintain holiday traditions with the ones that we love.
Yeah, news specialist Heather Simonson spoke with an expert who says it's all about getting creative.
At the Jensens,
You rub it on here? Oh, you're gonna rub it on there? Okay.
baking is about more than nourishment.
We make a lot of pies, huh?
It's how they connect.
I usually spend a lot of December baking with my mom and my sister, and we haven't been doing that. That's been a little bit hard.
This year, they're adapting,
All right, show Grandma how it's done.
doing the tradition on Zoom.
Oh,
Oh, beautiful.
And hosting pie making classes for neighbors virtually.
It was so fun to see so many people that I haven't seen for 7 or 8 months, and to have everybody connect, and we were able to see each other face to face. You know, everybody was showing what they were making with their cameras.
I love it. I need to.
Experts say that's how to keep holiday traditions alive.
Really good.
Safely.
Maybe you give every home a cookie kit and you log into a Zoom call and you decorate together, but in your own household.
Okay, what one do you have, sweetie?
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends gathering only with people who live in your own household.
Okay, look, I'm gonna help you.
A potluck exchange is an alternative.
You still are assigned out dishes, but then you all meet up, at a park, at an outdoor location with masks, and you exchange those dishes.
Grandma makes the best cupcakes, huh?
Everybody, still cooks the dish that they're known for.
Therapists say it's important to acknowledge the disappointments, but remember, kids are watching you.
As parents, if you're modeling an upbeat attitude of gratitude and finding the positive and adapting and just really having a good attitude, your kids are more likely to do that too.
Sometimes there's a little craft for us to do.
Some traditions won't change for the Jensens, like their action-based Advent calendar.
So we're trying to focus a lot more on what we can do for other people that don't have a lot of family living with them, and trying to think how we can think outward.
Because having consistency this year with adjustments may be more important than ever.
13.
For Your Life, Your Health, Heather Simonson, KSL 5 News.
Great ideas, Heather. Thank you. And while we miss face-to-face interactions, we don't have to let distance keep us from having a little fun this holiday season. Give virtual games a try. The 2015 word guessing game Codenames now offers a free virtual platform online. And even classics like Yahtzee, Scattergories, and charades are easy to pull off with a little creativity and patience over video chat. If you give bingo a try, use an online number generator and print off your cards at home. And for Pictionary, utilize Zoom's handy whiteboard feature that will allow you to share your real-time drawings. So there you go. We'll be right back.
We're all looking for ways to still enjoy the holiday season while staying physically distant.
Each year, KSL.com publishes a map of the best Christmas lights in your neighborhood. Some of these homes go all out. They're adorned with thousands of lights that are in sync with our favorite holiday tunes so that you can stay in the comfort and safety of your own car while you are in a festive mood. While you're at it, tune into FM 100.3 for non-stop Christmas music. Look at that.
Yeah, pretty cool. Here's another way to celebrate the holidays with your family while staying healthy. Maverick Center parking lot has been turned into a drive-in laser spectacular. Looks cool, doesn't it? The event's going to take place now through January 2nd with 2 shows a night every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's $25 a car, and you can grab tickets at maverickcenter.com.
That has you ready, all right?
I think so. It's got a little Pink Floyd involved in that,
there
too.
There you go. A lot of good ideas in this half hour. Thanks for joining us for this Your Life, Your Health special. The Weakest Link is next.
And we'll see you back here tonight at 10 following Dateline.